Question number 22. B Limited makes three products X, Y and Z in division X, Y and Z respectively. The following information is given: direct material excluding material X for division Y and Z, then direct labor, variable overhead, selling price to outside customers. Okay, then existing capacity is given, number of units 6,000, 3,000, 3,000. Maximum external market demand is given, number of units 5,000, 5,500 and 5,000. Then additional fixed cost that would be incurred to install additional capacity is given, 45,000, 9,000 and 23,100. And maximum additional units that can be produced additional capacity. What it is saying is, if you are incurring 45, you will be able to increase the capacity by 6,000 units. Then Y and Z need material X as their input. Okay, it's saying X is the input for material Y and Z. Sorry, for product Y and Z, X is the input. Material X is available in the market at 23 per unit. In external market also it is available at rupees 23 per unit. Defectives can be returned to supplier at their cost. Division X supplies the material free from defects and hence is able to sell at rupees 25 per unit. Each unit of Y and Z require 1 unit of X as input with slight modification. What it's saying is division X can also supply, division X is supplying the material X without any defect, and that's why they are able to sell at a slightly higher price of rupees 25. And the input output ratio for product Y and Z is 1:1. Like 1 unit of product X can produce 1 unit of product Y, as well as for Z also same. Okay, it requires slight modification, but if Y purchase from outside at rupees 23 per unit, if Y is purchasing from outside at rupees 23 per unit, it has to incur rupees 3 as modification. So outside price, how much it will come, how much it will be for, how much it will cost Y if it is purchasing from outside, 23 rupees for the product and 3 rupees for modification. So ultimately from their pocket 26 rupees will go. And if I purchase from division X, it has to incur, in addition to the transfer price, rupees 2 per unit, 2 rupees 2 per unit to modify. So if it is getting from what we say, division X, yeah, if it is getting from division X, 25 rupees plus 2 rupees to modify, so 27 rupees is going. Whereas externally, if they are purchasing from their pocket, only 26 rupees going. So what should be transfer price in this case? 26 rupees if they are purchasing externally, the 26 minus 2 rupees, that modification cost. So they should be able to get at rupees 24 only from division X, then only they should accept. Otherwise they can go for outside purchase. And then if Z gets a material from division X, it can use it after incurring a modification cost of rupees 1 per unit. Here also, if Z is getting division X, if Z is getting material X from division X, they will have to incur 1 rupee as modification. So cost will become 25 plus 1, 26. Okay, here cost will become 26. Whereas if Z buys material from outside, it has to either inspect and modify at its own shop floor at rupees 5 per unit. Okay, if it is buying from outside, the cost will be 23 plus 5, 28 rupees. Or use idle labor from division X at rupees 3 per unit. Or second option is that they can use the idle labor of division X at rupees 3 per unit. Then also cost will be 23 material cost plus 3 rupees material what we say, modification, then also it's coming 26. But the thing is that what it's saying, or use ideal labor from division X at rupees 3 per unit, and division X will lend its ideal labor as per Z's requirement, even if Z purchases the material from outside. But the thing is that the capacity is not unlimited here. The capacity constraint is there, and that X only, the division Y also want, division Z also want. So obviously if division X is operating at full capacity, they will not be able to supply their labor to this division X. So this rupees 3 gets ruled out. So only option Z is having 23 plus 5, that is 28 rupees from outside, or purchase from inside 25 rupees and incur modification cost 1 rupee. Okay, so for them best is get the internal transfer only. Then the transfer prices are at the discretion of the divisional managers and will remain confidential. Assume no restriction on quantities of interdivision transfers or purchases. Required discuss with relevant figures the best strategy for each division and for the company as a whole. It is somewhat similar to question number 20, I guess. Yeah, question number 20. So in this kind of problems, first of all we have to find out what contribution per unit. So division X, division Y, and division Z. Division X, either it is selling to outside or internal transfer to Y or Z. Okay, division Y, either it's purchasing from outside or transferring or getting transfer from X. And division Z is getting only transfer from X, because as I said, like purchasing from outside market is far costlier. 23 plus 28 rupees they will have to spend, whereas here only 25 rupees they can get transfer, plus 1 rupee they can spend for modification. Okay, that's why only transfer from X. Now selling price, if division X is selling to outside market 25 rupees, if division Y is purchasing from outside market 65, one second, the selling price is 25, and for division Y, if it is purchasing from outside 65 rupees, selling price is 65 rupees only, and for division Z is 90 rupees selling price for outside customers. Then transfer price, if division X is selling to division X is transferring to Y, it has to be 24 rupees only, because as I said, outside, from outside, if division Y is purchasing, it is coming 23 plus 3, it means 26 rupees. So whereas from division X it is coming like 25 plus 2 means 27. So like this, if we see outright, we can reject from division X. So if we want to get from division X, it has to be 26 rupees, which is outside market's price, minus 2 rupees, because 2 rupees we are going to incur for modification. That much only should be the transfer price. So 26 minus 2, 24 rupees should be the transfer price. That's why 24 is taken. And division Z 25 rupees. As I said, that is only beneficial for Z, 25 rupees. Okay, then direct material transfer pricing, then direct material 8 rupees 22 and 40, 8 8 8 22 22 and 40. Then direct labor 468 444 66 and 8. Then variable overhead 2 to 2 for all 2 to 2. Then that's all. we are finding on contribution angle, so all the variable costs are taken. Now purchase price of X. If it is purchasing from outside market, the division X is purchasing from outside market, it is purchasing at 23. Okay. But if it is getting transferred from X, it is getting transferred at 24, and there is modification cost rupees 3 and rupees 2 respectively, and just like that for division Z also. If it is getting transferred from X, getting transferred at 25, and modification cost of rupees 1. So if you reduce all these things, you will get contribution 11, 10, 11, 9, 9 and 14. Okay, this explanation, whatever I said, that only they have written here. So we got the contribution. Now we have to decide the best strategy for each division and the company as a whole. So first we should find out how whether that how much they have to transfer, how much is the spare capacity, and how much additional capacity required, whether additional capacity they should go for additional capacity or not. So see, internal transfer decision they have to take first. Existing capacity is 6,000, 3,000, 3,000. Here 6,000, 6,000, 3,000, 3,000. This is the existing capacity. Then maximum capacity that can be added: 6,000, 2,000, 2,250. 6,000, 2,000, 2,000, 250. So total maximum that can be produced is 12,000, 5,000 and 5,250. Then external demand is there: 5,000, 5,500 and 5,000. 5,000, 5,500, 5,000. So balance is there 7,000 units, and for Y no balance is there. In Z balance is there 250 units. So internal transfer to other division. So internal transfer to other division, X will take the decision. X will take the decision based on this contribution. See, if it is transferred to Z, it is going to get the contribution of 11. Whereas if it is transferring to Y, it is getting contribution of 10. So first it will transfer to Z. So that's why it is transferring 5,000 units to Z. Why only 5,000 units to Z? Because maximum demand itself is 5,000 units. So 5,000 units to Z, then balance 2,000 units to Y. Internal transfer from other division not applicable. Okay. Then for Y, now this one, internal transfer from other division. So 2,000 units transfer from X. This 2,000 coming from X, and this 5,000 is coming from X here. Okay. So this is the internal transfer division. Now we have to take the division like whether to expand or not. So see, addition fixed cost on expansion. How much is it? 45,000, 9,000 and 23,100. So 45,000, 9,000, 23,100. So contribution that can be earned by expansion. So because of expansion, they will be able to earn this one. Okay, this much they are going to earn, and here also 2,000 additional, because earlier capacity was only 3,000. Here is going to earn 2,000 additional. Okay, here also it's going to earn 2,000 additional. Okay, and here is going to earn how much? Not for 7,000 units, only for 6,000 units addition is going to earn. Okay, why 6,000 units? Because he had 6,000 existing capacity, but external demand was only 5,000. So anyways, that 1,000 was idle. So that 1,000 idle only first it is transferring to Z. Then from the expanded capacity, of 6,000, further it is transferring 4,000 to Z. Then balance 2,000 transferring to Y. So that's why the contribution that can be earned by expansion is 4,000 into 11, which is transferred to Z. Then 2,000 into 10, which is transferred to Y. Then for Y, 2,000 additional expansion we have done. So 2,000 units into 9 this contribution. Okay, and Z, that is also 2,000 getting expanded, so 2,000 into 14 rupees. So this is the contribution. So net benefit comes from this, just deduct this one, you will get the net benefit. So for all the net benefit is coming. So that's why decision taken is expansion in all the cases. As maximum demand of product Z is 5,000 units, which division Z first complete with existing capacity of 3,000 units, balance 2,000 units from expansion. Okay, whatever I said, that only there. So expansion decision also taken. Now we have to find out the net revenue addition, XYZ and total. So X is selling externally as also internally. This is there, no? This table, externally as well as internally. So externally how much? 5,000 units. Internally 5,000 to Z, 2,000 to Y. So externally 5,000 units into 11 from where? From this table. Externally, internally to Z, internally to Y. So that's what, externally 5,000 into 11, internally to Y 2,000 to Z 10, internally to Z 5,000 into 11. Total contribution. Then Y 45,000, 5,000 units into rupees 9. 5,000 units into rupees 9. So it is selling outside now. Okay, rupees 9. Either it's getting 9 rupees contribution. Okay, so where it is, 5,000 into 9, 45,000 is the contribution. Then for Z, 5,000 units, it is also selling externally. So 5,000 into 14 rupees. Okay, 5,000 into 14 rupees. External market. So that's what is the total contribution. It's 1,70,000, 1,75,000 total contribution. Now additional fixed cost, how much we spent? 45, 9,000, 23,100. This 45,000, 9,000, 23,100. This one, okay. So if you deduct that additional fixed cost, you will see that you will get a net revenue addition 1,67,900. So strategy for company and division. Division X will transfer maximum possible material to division Z, as division Z is offering maximum transfer price to division X. At the same time, division Z is fetching maximum contribution for the organization, so it is beneficial for both the division as well as organization as a whole. As shown above, all the three divisions are getting net benefit when they are taking decision to expand, and hence all the three divisions should expand their activity by incurring additional fixed cost on expansion. That's all.